personality hierarchy talks about the notion of intuitive blending. Intuitives blending into a sensor-dominant world and the expectations around them. Do you find that there is a current societal center of gravity in our culture? It feels to me like 3s and 1s get a lot of love in the world that I live in. So sometimes I wonder whether me typing as a 3 is correct, or I'm being biased by the societal influences around me and how I'm being encouraged to act. Good question. Mm-hmm. So would you say there's a societal sense of like what's acceptable? Like, do we go through fads in the Enneagram of like, I mean, right now, tonight, it seems like 9s are pretty popular, fatting wise on the show.
Well, I think that America is a 3 culture. So 3s get rewarded for being 3s, which actually isn't good for 3s because, you know, it's sort of like when we have more pain points, that's kind of what sometimes moves us to a growth path, suffering. And I worked with a 3 recently. He was very successful at a really high level at a finance firm, really good looking, great golfer. Everything was going his way. And I was tasked with being, you know, his Enneagram coach by the leadership development program he was in. But he was saying, I have no reason to change anything I'm doing because all the rewards that are providing to me are rewarding my personality. Why on earth would I change? I'm being rewarded for doing everything as a 3. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes that can make it hard for 3s both to see themselves. 3s, you know, Naranjo said that Americans are 3 blind. Like 3s sometimes don't find themselves as 3s. They type as their image or what's valued in their culture or in their context, and they don't find themselves as 3s. Or there are some people that type as 3s that aren't 3s, although more often I see people typing as something else when they're really a 3. There's a lot of people I've met and I'm like, I think that person's actually a 3, especially since people don't know what a sexual 3 or a self-pres 3 is. They just know the social 3. And so I think sometimes 3s get mixed up because the American culture is so 3-ish. Can I say a little bit of something about Enneagram Roadmap and how I think it's the perfect accompaniment to what I spend a lot of my time doing live? My business partner and I offer live inner work retreats. You know, we offer them mostly in San Francisco, London, Cairo in Egypt, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and coming soon, China. And in those inner work retreats, we do deep work with the Enneagram. But we don't really teach the basics. We kind of get right into the deeper work. So Enneagram Roadmap is like the perfect thing to do if you're wanting to do some deep work as a prelude to kind of doing one of our inner work retreats, or even doing one of our professional workshops where we help practitioners learn to use the Enneagram in a deep and accurate way. So we'd love to see you at one of our 5-day programs, but Enneagram Roadmap is really a good thing to do first to kind of, first of all, just, you know, enter into the Enneagram, I think, in a deep way and how it can be used as a growth tool and what the system is all about. But also as an introductory workshop you can do in the comfort of your own home before you come and do something deeper with us, which we'd love to have you do.
Well, and to piggyback on that, Joel was mentioning when we flew Beatrice out again, when we were in Florida to record more content. As you mentioned, we've been listening to that all day long because we've been doing some editing on it. And I had forgotten how good those conversations were because we were talking about things that, we were talking about instinctual stacks. So, you know, people have been talking, you know, I'm a self-pres sexual or I'm a social, you know, sexual or whatever, self-pres. And then you just kind of hinted. And then we have the ones that's repressed, right? And in the Enneagram Roadmap, the content that we were creating, you mentioned how it was like a beach ball underneath water. That we do an elaborate balancing act to try to repress it and push it down so we don't have to see it. And so we talked about those things about stacks and what it looks like to have each of those instincts, what it looks like when one of those is your repressed beach ball underneath the water, and what it means to have one that's dominant. And it was
when it explodes.
When it explodes, yeah, because that beach ball will come up sometimes and surface, and what it looks like when your repressed instinct explodes. I mean, it's such good stuff. So that's now in the Enneagram Roadmap, or those are being uploaded right now, and it's just really amazing content. So I also would like to put my hat in the ring of recommending that right now, because we're releasing Enneagram Roadmap right now. It's a really good time to go check out that program. So